Hello aqua friends, today we are going to do another autumn inspired project. The background is going to be very vibrant, really pretty fall colors with some bokeh. So I'm starting off wet on wet. I have blocked out my main leaf, and you can do the same using adhesive contact paper like I did or masking fluid. So I'm dropping in some very pretty fall colors. I am using raw umber, I have sap green, Van Dyke brown, burnt sienna, iso yellow deep, and I'll list any others in the comments below. So working quickly before the paper dries, I just keep applying colors, loosely following the reference photo that I have. Getting in the shadows and dark areas on the right hand side of the painting. So as you can see, it's a very vibrant layer. If you guys are getting value out of this video and you like my artwork, please think about subscribing and hitting the notification button so that you don't miss any of the videos. I post every Tuesday. This is kind of the fun part. I really enjoy making bokeh lights, and it just makes the painting have this like magical element to it that I enjoy. I am using just a round, kind of like a stamper sponge, and wiping it off on a piece of paper towel, going back in, and there are multiple bokeh lights in this reference photo. So I am putting and lifting and putting a lot of these in. It looks really good when you layer them on top of one another too. So I always make sure that I have kind of clusters where you're layering them. Some of the bokeh lights have these reflections of some colors in it, brighter colors, and I don't want to overdo it because then it's not going to look plausible. Making sure I use transparent colors for sure for this. One of my viewers asked about the sponges that I use to do the bokeh technique, and unfortunately I cannot find the sponges from Martha Stewart that I bought in the past. I don't think they make them anymore, so I am in the process of buying some different circular sponges off of Amazon to try and see if I could get the same effect. Taking off the contact paper, letting your paper dry. Working wet on wet for the leaf as well, just to drop in that first layer. I'm using a number 8 round Princeton brush. It is from the Black Velvet series. I love these brushes. Pretty much are my standard. They have a very soft snap to them. They hold a good amount of water, which is nice because once your brush is loaded, you can paint with it for a really long time. So I'm tilting my papers so I could kind of see where the sheen of the water is, so I could find the spots I might have missed. So I am dropping in some yellow as my base color. I'm using yellow ochre or raw umber. They're so very similar in color. And some of the warmer yellows that I'm using, mixing in, is ISO yellow. The warmer areas, I'm mixing in a little bit of the transparent pyrrole orange. And since our paper is wet, when you add in these darker areas, the edges fuzz out and everything is just very nice and soft and very blended looking. I'm adding in the little dots and sort of imperfections that I see in the leaf. Okay, so as usual, our paints dry a lot lighter. So now I am adding the ISO yellow, wet on dry for vibrancy, over the whole leaf. You can see how really pretty this jewel tone yellow is. It just sort of brings the leaf to life. So once I have that whole coat of ISO, I'm going in with my stronger orange, which is the same thing, the transparent pyrrole orange, but trying to get in the orange parts of this leaf while it is still wet. Alright, so now that it's dry, I am just re-wetting the leaf with some clean water. So in this third layer, I'm hoping to get the leaf colors, the orange, as dark as it needs to be, because everything does dry a lot lighter, but it's blending in too much with the background. So I'm trying to up the saturation. The paper that I'm using for this project, I've been practicing on the Hahnemuhl, which is a German brand watercolor paper, and it is a 140-pound cold press. And there are many different lines in this company, so this is the collection series that I am painting on. I also have tried the Cezanne, and I really enjoyed that paper, especially the blocks, because they are glued down really well, whereas arches, if depending how much water you use, it will let go and lift from the glued edges. So after it's dry, I am lifting some of the color just to make it lighter in those yellow areas. So I'm using kind of a stiff snapped brush, just wet, damp, doesn't have to be saturated. And you're just gonna kind of scrub over areas of the brush that you want to highlight and lighten up. So I wet the area, and with a piece of paper towel, I dab off the paint. Using some burnt sienna, I am darkening up those imperfections on the leaf. It's like tiny details now. Finally working on that stem, which is red. I am using Quin Red. A little bit of green right at that end of the stem and some spots on the leaves. Going over the veins of the leaf with the Quin Red. Let me know what you guys think of this tutorial in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.